The top stories: government forecasts a bigger deficit. The indecent picture case against nation staff is adjourned. And Ralph Gonsalves calls for a mature debate on marijuana. Welcome to Nation News for Tuesday, March 11, 2014.
At Courts, every day we bring affordability, convenience, innovation, and style to over 1 million customers in 11 countries. From homes to communities, we are proud to make a difference in the lives of many across the region. Courts, bringing value home.
The estimates are out, and the figures suggest that the government is projecting a wider budget gap. That's between what it spends and what it earns. The document presented to Parliament indicates that government expects to spend about $3.9 billion in the next fiscal year, starting April 1st. This is narrowly up on this year and reflects the stated aim to rein in spending because of the faltering economy. Revenue is, however, expected to be down again by a small margin, a stark reminder of the financial challenge faced by the authorities. The upshot is that the projected deficit is expected to be about $1.4 billion, up from $1.2 billion. The debate on the estimates will take place next week and will likely be one of the most heated in years, as opposition leader Mia Mottley has pledged to check the document line by line. 3 executives of the Nation Publishing Company Limited have made a second court appearance in a first-of-its-kind case. CEO Vivian Ann Gittins, Chief Editor Roy Morris, and News Editor Sanka Price are facing charges under the Protection of Children Act for allegedly publishing an indecent photograph of 2 14-year-olds having sex in a classroom. They will, however, have to wait until July the 31st after Magistrate Deborah Holder accepted the prosecution's request for an adjournment in the closely watched case on the grounds that they were not ready. Lawyers for the Nation executives, Alair Shepherd and Ezra Aline, objected to the adjournment. Mr. Aline told the magistrate that it was extremely important that a conclusion in the case is reached soon, as the charges had the capacity to attach a stigma to the accused, no matter the outcome. He said, however, he was confident the trio would be acquitted. The doctor who declared all but one of the 6 women victims of the Campus Trends fire tragedy dead has taken the witness stand in court. It's in the murder trial of 22-year-old Jamar Bino. He has pleaded not guilty and has represented himself. Public Medical Officer Dr. Andrew Murray testified that he declared 5 of the 6 women dead just after midnight on September the 4th, 2010. Dr. Murray said their faces, limbs, and abdomens were all burnt. The prosecution is expected to call more than 40 witnesses during the trial, which got underway last week. Another man, Ronaldo Anderson Aline, was sentenced to 6 life sentences in 2012 after pleading guilty to murder. After a series of delays, the sugar crop is expected to start on Monday. This is despite continuing negotiations between the industry and the Barbados Workers' Union. The talks are linked to the logistics of using one factory, Port Vale, this season. The crop is now expected to end in early June with a yield of 18,000 tons, roughly the same as last year. Next, it's commentary with Carl Martindale.
It's time for officials at AgroFest to build on what they have and don't rest on their laurels. After 10 years, the annual agricultural exhibition in Queen's Park has grown to become one of the island's much anticipated events. It is an occasion for farmers, craftspeople, and vendors to showcase the best of their products and make a bit of extra money. What was once limited to Queen's Park has now spilled over to the Weymouth Bee Field, with hundreds more stalls and products for sale. But the time has come for the showcase to be expanded from 3 days to at least 5. With school children getting priority treatment on Friday, thousands of Barbadians rush to the venue on Saturday and Sunday. But this crush makes it difficult to truly browse and enjoy what is on offer. Give each day a theme, focus on a specific area, add some family entertainment, and keep AgroFest going for another decade.
Carl Martindale with the commentary. In news about our neighbors, new CARICOM Chairman Ralph Gonsalves has called for an intelligent, mature conversation in the Caribbean on medical marijuana. Speaking to journalists at a CARICOM summit in Kingstown, the Vincentian Prime Minister cited the $2 million in revenue raised by the American state of Colorado in January after easing ganja laws there. Dr. Gonsalves also said the region could not continue with the drug policies of old, and certain amounts of the drug should be decriminalized for religious and social purposes.
We cannot continue, frankly, with the drug policies that we have had over the years. And why are you going to lock up a young man or young woman for a spliff, for something under 15 grams? No, 28 grams make 1 ounce.
Well, why do
that's less than a half of an ounce. Now, if they come in front of the police station with a spliff, smoking it in front of the sentry gate in contumacious disregard of the authority, that's an entirely different thing. I'm not talking about legalizing marijuana, you know. I'm talking about, the discussion is about decriminalizing it in respect of medical marijuana and very small quantities in regarding use for social and religious purposes, but not to be made available for anybody under the age of 18.
4 Bahamian police officers have been sent on leave after a drug accused was allowed to get married in a police station on Saturday. An assistant superintendent, a corporal, and 2 constables are now awaiting their fate after an incident that Commissioner of Police Ellison Greenslade said disturbed and embarrassed him. 35-year-old Kendrick Tinker married his fiancée at the police station despite being held on several drug charges and for possession of forged American currency.
The history, the legacy, the rivalry, the passion. We versus them. West Indies versus England. 3 T20s, March 9th, 11th, and 13th at the Mecca. We versus them.
In sport, in cricket, West Indies captain Darren Sammy, teammate Marlon Samuels, and England all-rounder Ravi Bopara were all fined a portion of their match fees from the first 2020 at Kensington Oval on Sunday. In the 12th over of England's innings, Samuels and Bopara exchanged words, and Sammy also got involved. Reports suggest that Bopara made insulting words about Samuels' bowling action, which brought a response from his 2 opponents. All 3 pleaded guilty to breaching the ICC Code of Conduct. Bopara was fined a quarter of his match fee, Sammy 20%, and Samuels 10%. West Indies players Kirk Edwards and Jason Holder have been called up for Barbados' next regional 4-day match against combined campuses and colleges. They are straight swap for Kenroy Williams and pacer Miguel Cummins, who were picked for the first 2 matches. The match bowls off on Friday at the 3Ws Oval. Barbados beat Guyana in the last series after losing to the Windwards in the first. The executive of Netball's Americas Federation convenes in Barbados this weekend, a meeting which coincides with the start of the local season. Molly Rowan, the president of the International Netball Federation, is attending the meeting and will also speak at Saturday's opening ceremony of the new season. The ceremony starts at 5 p.m. at the Combermere School.
Sports was brought to you by We versus Them, West Indies versus England series.
And finally, an elderly Italian man got a rather unwelcome surprise when he ordered an escort, and his son's girlfriend turned up. The father, who is 70, and his 40-year-old son came to blows after the young man was told his girlfriend was not a maid, as she said, but was instead being paid for sex. The relatives have since broken off all relations. The embarrassing incident came to light after the son reported his father for causing him minor injuries in a scrap. The hearing was postponed as the judge was unable to bring the family to an agreement. No news on what happened to the girlfriend. And that's Nation News for Tuesday.